I took all 103 of the Black Ops 6 Zombies launch items, broke them down, placed them in order of the player unlock progression system, and found the top 5 best loadouts to use while grinding Black Ops 6 Zombies in order to have the most fun and the most variety. Let's get right into the video. Now, before we get into the video, I just have to give a couple of disclaimers. First, I have to say the perks are not on a timed release system or like a player level unlock system. So as soon as you go into the game, you can be able to play with those perks. Just make sure that you're unlocking the augments and doing the research the way you want to in an order that makes it feel really comfortable for you. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some of my best suggestions on which ammo mods and field upgrade augments you want to use. Even though we cannot bring the ammo mods into the game, we are able to at least go in and select the ammo mods that we want to use once we unlock them. With the field upgrades, I'm also going to be giving my suggestions on which field upgrades you want to bring in with those loadouts as well, and then which augments you want to start researching so that way you can unlock them. Also, support equipment is also not able to be brought into the game. However, they are lootable and craftable items. So use those to whatever discretion that you like to. I'm not going to be giving suggestions about those today either. However, the last bit of things that I'm not going to be giving information about is I did a video where I spoke about all of the launch items. Day one, where you have 0 XP, what can you go into the game with? If you have not seen that video, make sure to check out this pinned video up here where I break that down on some of the best play styles and what to use, when to use them, also how they all work as well. If any of this stuff helps you out to learn how to start playing, how to start grinding these levels, let me know in the comment section down below. Give the video a like, and then also subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're currently on the road to 5,000 subs, and I'd love to get to 5,000 subs before Black Ops 6 comes out in a few days. So let's get right into the loadout once you reach level 10. So by the time you get to level 10, you're gonna have about 32 items unlocked. So at this point, some of the best items and weapons you're gonna wanna use, just to start off, is gonna be the PU-21 LMG. The LMG, the reason why it is my suggestion is because it comes with 3 magazines of 75 rounds, giving it a really tanky, hefty magazine as well. So hopefully when you pack punch it, we might have 150 rounds just in our magazine, ready to rock and roll, which would be really cool. Also, it's fully auto. It also has really high damage as well as nicely lightweight. So you're able to move around. And right now, when going into either Liberty Falls or Terminus, you're going to want to be able to kind of be a little bit lighter on your feet, have a lot of bullets just because you don't know potentially how long you're going to be in the game and things like that. Other than the PU-21, the other items that you're going to want to come in with are not the knife, because we don't have anything else unlocked. You're going to use the energy mine. With energy mine, you're actually going to want to go ahead and select the carousel and the frequency boost, because those are going to give you 3 energy mines that are going to float around you. It's going to detonate when an enemy comes close by, and it is also going to increase the detonation count and the duration of that energy mine. This is going to really help you out just initially, as well as you got the concussion stun grenade and the sticky grenade, which is released at level 9. And for your Gobblegums selections, you're going to want to select the Killjoy, which is unlocked at level 5, and then also the stock option as well. Now, the Killjoy Gobblegum has ammo that is taken from that player's stockpile instead of the actual weapons magazine. So that's going to be really huge, especially because we have this huge LMG, and that's kind of where my mindset is around that. Wanting to use the big LMG and use all the rounds from the reserve ammo. And then also the stock option just spawns and insta-kill power up for you. So the ammo mod that you're going to want to use, and once you get into game, is the Napalm Burst. And I would suggest, honestly, starting to research the big game and the contact burn. This is going to allow you to burn elite enemies and even do more damage, just to really help out with some of those elite enemies in whichever area you're in. And that's just because a lot of those elite enemies are going to be weak to fire or brain rot. Moving right on level 20. So the weapon that I would suggest would be the TANTO .22 submachine gun. We saw that is a powerful weapon in the beta. That's unlocked at level 16, plus our dedicated melee weapon slot is always going to be nice. We've got our field upgrade, and this is where we actually unlock this new Dark Flare field upgrade that you're going to be able to use. That Symbol Monkey at level 18, and then also turning on and adding that C4 to be able to play around with the C4. Now for the Gobblegum pack, this is where we get 2 additional Gobblegums, and both of those I would also suggest go ahead and adding to your Gobblegum pack. Those extra two are going to be who's keeping score and cash back. So the reason why I selected the TANTO is because once we get the TANTO, we have 4 magazines of 30, which hopefully we get double and a half, maybe triple, but it has really great high damage, great handling. Even though it shoots a little bit slower, it has really decent mid-range of fire and really great power. It feels really powerful. But with having that, we also get cash back just in case we do run out of ammo and we need to immediately teleport randomly somewhere else. Also, you're going to want to use Cryo-Freeze. Once you turn on Cryo-Freeze, you're going to want to actually go and research both the big game and extension. And that's going to allow you to increase the slow duration for those elite enemies. Obviously, you can kind of see here, one of the biggest things is we're going to want to try and do more damage to those elite enemies, kind of as we're grinding our way to max level. Moving forward, that who's keeping score, Gobblegum is going to allow us to spawn a double points power up, as well as you get a sentry turret during this point in time. You've got other weapons that you can use. I would still stick to either the LMG or move over to the TANTO once you get to the TANTO, as well as getting the chance to use the Dark Flare field upgrade. Now for the Dark Flare field upgrade, the very first 2 augments that you're going to probably want to unlock is going to be the Supernova, which is going to allow you to get a beam that replaces the spear, and it does damage to nearby enemies as it travels. Plus, at the end of it is going to detonate. And if you also unlock or research the broad beam, you're going to be able to significantly increase the size of that beam. Meaning it's kind of like a walking ring of fire. As you're moving, it's going to be able to do damage to those enemies in a much larger area. So for the level 30 loadout, I would still suggest the TANTO.22, as well as the knife, the Dark Flare, as well as the Simple Monkey. And this time we're going to be changing from the C4 to the Impact Grenade. That Impact Grenade is going to be a precision grenade that explodes on impact. And it's going to be really effective for being able to control crowds and control where they're going. This is also going to want to bring in Brain Rot Ammo Mod as well. With the Brain Rot Ammo Mod, when it comes to Brain Rot, you're going to want to research big game to be able to charm elite enemies, and then also explosive to be able to have those charmed elite enemies explode at the end of Brain Rot's duration and deal extra toxic damage. Especially if you take out the elite enemies, those elite enemies are likely going to be much bigger, and hopefully that explosion is going to be able to explode a lot more zombies. Kind of similar to how we got in the Modern Warfare 3, I believe Season 4 Dark Aether, where certain enemies that you would shoot would ultimately explode and do a lot of damage to the enemies around them. Now, there are some other really good weapons in here, including the AIMS 85 assault rifle. You've got the Sarkov 762 marksman rifle, and then you've got the GPR 91 AR, and also a new pistol, the GS 45, which I think will be really good. But the reason why I would say stick with the TANTO.22 is just because you're going to be able to continue leveling that up and grabbing those additional attachments as you get to a much heavier weapon, which I think you're going to love the next loadout build as well. But from here, the Gobblegum pack that I recommend is still the Killjoy. Who's keeping score? So we actually are taking out the stock option for who's keeping score, cash back, but we're going to be adding 2 new ones. And this is going to be Soda Fountain and Profit Sharing. Even though we also get the exit strategy Gobblegum, I don't believe the extra strategy Gobblegum is going to be necessarily effective unless you're kind of playing and you want to have a really quick mode or quick round. Maybe you're going to be going to high levels and maybe at some point you want to have that. Maybe go ahead and turn that on. But for Soda Fountain is going to actually give us the next perk purchase, gives us an additional perk, and Profit Sharing allows us to share a portion of the essence that we earn with nearby players and vice versa. With this loadout, essentially you're going to be able to utilize ammo from your reserve ammo, allowing your ammo to last much longer, and also having that cash back is going to allow you to be able to get away instantly if you need to. With who's keeping score, getting those extra points during that power up is going to be great, especially if we're having a profit share on and it kind of is going to be able to stack. While doing all of that, a lot of what our build is going to be adding extra damage and also giving a lot of decoys. So this is going to be a really great mid build just for being able to do a massive amount of damage, especially since we're going to be using the Brain Rot as well to be able to do much more damage. This is going to be the point where our weapon is going to be a little bit stronger. We're going to be able to take out much more enemies much faster. So I'm excited for that. But probably my favorite loadout and that I cannot wait for, it's going to be the level 40 loadout. So once we get to level 40, this is why I suggest actually pulling out our very first shotgun. And I'm excited about the ASG 89 because it is a very powerful shotgun and it is semi-automatic. So with this, it comes with 4 magazines of 6 rounds. This weapon has high damage, high power, and is really great, obviously, for close quarters, but it also has a decent rate of fire. So this weapon is going to be really great. Now, what's going to make this weapon shine during those next 40 or during those next 10 to 20 rounds is the Gobblegum pack. So here's why I want to break down the Gobblegum pack for round 40. So the Gobblegum pack for round 40 includes the Killjoy, which is where the ammo is going to be taken from the player's stockpile. With that, having a shotgun, especially Pack-a-Punch, we won't have to worry too much about having to reload, especially in those heavy times. Who's keeping scores going to allow us to get much more points. We'll be able to buy more ammo if we need to. Pack-a-Punch much sooner. Profit sharing is going to once again allow us to have much more points to be able to Pack-a-Punch faster and get that weapon much stronger. With Free Fire, this is a new Gobblegum that we just unlocked, which allows us to fire our weapon with consuming 0 ammo. Obviously, it doesn't work with wonder weapons, but it's going to allow us to do that, which with a shotgun, it's going to pretty much give us unlimited infinite ammo during about 60 seconds. And then we've also got On the House, which is going to spawn a perk can power up. So we don't have to spend our money on the perk necessarily, but we can be able to get access to a lot more money, Pack-a-Punch much earlier, and also buy a lot more ammo if we need that to be able to have a lot of fun with that shotgun. While we're also here, we've also got the Molotov, which is also going to be unlocked, which does massive amounts of damage and really gives a good pull of separation between you and the enemies, as well as decoys. So this is where we get the decoy finally at level 35. And with the decoy, we're going to be able to completely get those enemies away from us, throw that Molotov, maybe reload if we need to, or pop one of our Gobblegums to give us max ammo or unlimited ammo, infinite ammo for our shotgun, and just really go take down all of those enemies. Plus, if anything happens to us while we have that shotgun up, this time we are finally using the filled up grade healing aura, which was unlocked at level 33. And so we can be able to even add much more damage to the enemies because healing aura kind of acts also like a sort of ring of fire if you unlock Enduring Radiance, which gives beams and their healing effect is going to persist in that area for a lasting time. But where this is going to shine is the Inner Strength Augment. If you research the Inner Strength Augment, any affected player's damage is going to be slightly increased for a short period of time. Meaning that while you are standing in those beams, getting that healing effect, you are going to be doing more damage. And if you have a shotgun and you're able to pop one of those Gobblegums to get infinite ammo, you're doing maximum amount of damage, especially if you could throw a decoy and to get distance in between the two of you. I think this is going to be probably one of the most overpowered builds, especially for high rounds. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's awesome that we kind of have access to this right at this kind of build at level 40. So last but not least, we have our final build, and this is going to be our max level build. So this is where we get the chance to finally start playing with the JACKAL PDW, which is really overpowered in the multiplayer beta, which felt really good. But you also unlock the baseball bat. I wouldn't bring the baseball bat in once again, just because the baseball bat is a 2-hit kill. So I would still just use that knife until we get another version of a melee weapon. Here's where we're going to actually get the chance to start using the Aether Shroud field upgrade. And so with Aether Shroud upgrade, I would recommend unlocking or researching the burst dash and the instant reload. This is where you're going to be able to walk forward a short distance, killing all the enemies in your path, and it's going to instantly reload your currently held weapon. This is just very similar to the same exact build or the same exact Aether Shroud with the upgrades from Black Ops Cold War. At this point, you're also going to want to unlock the Shadow Rift and start to use Shadow Rift to learn much more about how that works. So with Shadow Rift, I would recommend, because since the bullets deal shadow damage, go ahead and grab Big Game once again, use Shadow Rift to be able to activate on elite enemies and then also target it, because if you're able to use that Shadow Rift on those elite enemies, target it is going to allow you to be able to have those targeted enemies, those elites, drop down and fall on other enemies, knock them down, and also hopefully do some good amount of damage on them as well. So at this point, we're going to still use the Killjoy on the house, which is going to spawn up a power-up kid. We're also going to go ahead and use the Wonder Bar, which is the first time that we use the Wonder Bar. This is going to allow the next weapon from the mystery box to be a Wonder Weapon. And then also we got the Hidden Power, which is going to upgrade your currently held weapon rarity to Legendary. Because we have a very strong SMG, that Legendary weapon is going to push us very far. We also going to go ahead and start using the Blast Trap, and the Casimir as well. This is just going to be able to leave traps aside if you need to, whether you want to throw the Casimir and all the zombies get chopped in this area, or you want to put an area of some distance in between you, just to be able to say. Now, I would say if you don't want to specifically use the Blast Trap, I think the Molotov is still a fantastic lethal to use just all around because it is so damaging. This is also where we might go back to the Impact Grenade instead if you really enjoy the Impact Grenade. And that's where we're going to end it for now. Let me know in the comment section down below. Did this video help you guys out with figuring out some of the loadouts that you're going to want to try and use? And also, what kind of questions do you have? Or what other feedback might you have for the channel? I'd love to hear in the comment section down below. Now, as I said earlier, if you have not gotten a chance to check out my video where I talked about everything that you unlock immediately upon day one, game one, to be able to go into game with and how to best use those items, check out this video here. Have a beautiful goddamn day and let me know what you think about that video. See you guys.